Hi everybody, welcome back to the YouTube channel. I'm Kong Kong. Today we are going through the ECE6303 homework 2. Let's go through the second question first. We are going through many noisy channels and given a lot of conditions. Firstly, we're given that the probability of x1 equals 0 is 0.2 and the probability of x1 equals 1 equals to 0.8 for all k larger than or equal to 1 and smaller or equal to n. And we know that in the condition of xk equals to 0, the probability of xk plus 1 equals 0 is 0.6, and under the condition of xk equals to 0, we know the probability of xk plus 1 equals 1 is 0.4. And when we know xk equals to 1, the probability of xk plus 1 equals to 0 is 0.3, and the probability of xk plus 1 equals to 1 under the condition of xk equals to 1 is 0.7. And we have 4 small questions to answer. So to calculate the probability of x2 equals to 1, we have to find 2 different conditions. The first one is when x1 equals to 0. So we get the probability of x2 equals to 1 over the condition of x1 equals to 0 times the probability of x1 equals to 0. And the second condition is when x1 equals to 1. So finally, we put in the numbers and get 0.64. In the second question, we have to find the probability of x3 equals to 1. So how we get that? We firstly have to know the probability of x2 equals to 1 and x2 equals to 0. So let's do this. We can do the probability of x3 equals to 0, probability of x3 equals to 1, calculate them together. That is 0.36 and 0.64 times 0.6, 0.4, 0.3, 0.7. And finally, we get these 2 numbers, that is 0.408 and 0.592. And we get our answer. And in the third question, we'll calculate the probability of x1 equals to 0 when x3 equals to 1. This question is a little bit weird because most of the time we're calculating the probability of what happens later on the condition of what happens before. But we can understand that in this way, that is the percentage of things happens after x1 equals to 0 goes to x3 equals to 1. So we can get the answer in this way. And the last problem is looking for when n goes to infinity, what is the probability of xn equals to 0. So I listed out the equation, and finally we get 3/7. That is our answer.